Hey guys, we're here for a new episode of the show that's yet to be named. We're tier listing James Bond, the whole franchise. It's missing Never Say Never again, but we're just gonna tell you where it is. This is getting ready or after the new one. It's called Never Die When Your Day Is Over. I'm here with JOHNNYDONUTS777. He's your resident James Bond, and I'm your Q for the night. So I'm your money penny.
You're my money penny.
We're gonna jump into this, I guess. Like, sure, why not? So let me just share screens with this guy. All right, guys. So here we are with the list. We are going to be ranking them from 007 to Bond, James Bond to good to and then watch at your own risk.
Which we've decided off camera that sounds like the title for a good Bond film.
I mean, I feel like it actually is, definitely. So, I mean, they're kind of, actually, they are definitely in order of release. So, let's just start her off. So, I got Dr. No here, the first one.
Yep. The one that started it all. That's Bond, James Bond.
I think you have to. I mean, it's like one of my favorites.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
like I said,
it is what it is.
It's the movie that started it all, right? They didn't know this was going to be a franchise when this movie came out.
I mean, did they?
I mean, I'm sure the idea was there, but
someone planted the seed.
Yeah.
For Russia with Love,
good. I'd say good.
Nah, I gotta say it's Bond, James Bond.
Really, eh?
Would you settle for this at least for now?
Yeah,
and then we can negotiate.
I'll totally give you that.
Okay, well, Goldfinger. I think we know where this is going.
Yeah, top of the list.
That's
top of the list.
007.
That's 007, secret agent, MI6.
Yeah. So, this is I don't like this game. Thunderball.
You kind of got to put it between Dr. No and From Russia with Love, no?
I mean, to me, this is less than From Russia with Love, but I kind of agree with you that
give or take, it's still in that level.
Okay, so here, let's put it here for now.
Okay,
because we'll make agreements here because there's definitely two that I know you like that are like I'm not a huge fan. You Only Live Twice. I'd say this is just good.
Yeah, I agree with that.
It's one of the weirder Bond movies.
Yeah, You Only Live Twice. It's a little bit racist too, if you want to.
I mean, they're all pretty racist.
Yeah.
So on Her Majesty's Secret Service, this is kind of an underrated one, I think.
I like George Lazenby as Bond. I think I got to put that in the Bond, James Bond, or at the top of the good tier.
Okay, I'm on base with you, but I kind of want to put it here. But I think maybe let's just put it here for now.
Because I think that second row might get a little overcrowded.
Yeah, well, let's see, because I'm pretty sure we're gonna do some rearranging here because we have to agree on this. This is not my opinion or your opinion. It's the amalgamation of DC and Marvel.
Amalgam Comics.
You see what I did there? All right, Diamonds Are Forever.
Yeah. What were you gonna say? So I'd say
I would say it's behind You Only Live Twice, but I could live with it being an eh.
Yeah. I could live with it being an eh. That's the one where Blofeld is like the casino executive or
yes, this also has what did you say? Crispin Glover's dad?
Crispin Glover's dad, yeah. This I mean, only because it had Crispin, but yeah, Blofeld as like the casino, like it was a weird, it's like set in Las Vegas. There was like that 20-minute scene where he's climbing the tower.
Oh my gosh, I forgot about that. Is it weird though that Crispin Glover's dad basically plays the character that he plays later in Charlie's Angels?
Oh my god, yeah, you're right. It is. It's the same character. Like father, like son. It's come full circle.
Sense. Just missing the rats.
Oh, Willard.
So Live and Let Die. I mean, this is. It is.
It's a James Bond film.
Yeah. I mean, I guess it's good.
The soundtrack, like the theme song, as we discussed,
on Paul McCartney alone, it
needs to be in good. I like the character, and I think Jane Seymour was in that movie, wasn't she?
I think Jane Seymour. That's my favorite Bond girl. Other than
Yes.
Ursula Anders, that's in Thunderball.
Thunderball, yeah. But Jane Seymour, she looked phenomenal in that movie.
Yeah. That's Dr. Quinn, Medicine
Dr.
Woman.
Quinn, Medicine Woman.
Okay, so we got Man with the Golden Gun here.
I mean, I liked it, but I know you're not a big fan of it. Like I can settle for it in the top of ahead of Diamonds Are
I'll
Forever.
top of you because you're willing to settle, and because you like it, I'll put it ahead of Diamonds Are Forever.
Thank you.
Okay, so what is this one? You only the spy who maybe loved you once.
The spy who maybe the spy who didn't give a crap.
I actually like this one. This is one of my more. This is one of my more favoriter ones. I think this is better than Live and Let Die.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Actually, I think it's better than this as well.
Yeah, I could totally go with that.
I
like it there.
Ahead or behind of George Lazenby?
Behind. George Lazenby doesn't get enough love.
George Lazenby could have been one of the Beatles.
Yes, he could have. He doesn't get enough love.
He doesn't.
Let's keep him there.
He looks like the guy from the Monkees with the butt chin. Anyways.
Oh, yeah.
I don't remember anybody's names. I'm not good with names.
I just remember, was it Tom? No, not Tom York. Tom something. Peter Tork.
Peter Twerks.
Mickey
Moonraker.
That's at your own risk.
Yeah, this is just actually like in the very, very, very few Bond movies that like I would tell you don't watch this movie.
Yeah. The only good thing is Jaws in space.
Yeah.
Not the one where he gets
Jaws has a girlfriend.
Yeah, that's when Jaws is the girlfriend.
We did it at the same time. Yeah. I mean,
yeah, it's Moonraker.
You know what? When we're talking about them out loud, it's kind of like I don't blame Putty or Caps for not having seen all of these movies.
Yeah.
So I'm guessing this is for your eyes only.
I believe so. Yes.
I like this movie as well.
It was a very good movie.
I would say this is close to the other. This is around George Lazenby-ish.
Yeah, I could either. I'd say right next to him, whether you want to put him ahead of George or behind George. I think
Where would you want it? Ahead or behind George?
For your eyes only. If it were me, I'd put it ahead.
Done. All right.
Done.
At your own risk.
Okay. Yeah. Just on the title alone.
It's
slightly better.
I can't get it. It won't. It is. It's a really strange friggin' movie.
Yeah.
There's a circus and a train and a Ferrari and an elephant.
Yeah, I don't know what was going on.
There's a diamond.
Gotta admit, Roger Moore had some potential with James Bond, but some of the movies, like the over campiness of his films, it was like very late 70s, early 80s camp that maybe that's why Dalton didn't get the love he should have gotten.
It is. Well, you spent 2 decades developing this joke of a character almost. Like, don't get me wrong. There's those 3 movies to me, which I think he's good in, which is Live and Let Die,
Yep,
For Your Eyes Only, and
Live and Let Die. Have you noticed on a lot of lists, it's at the bottom?
Yeah, I mean, it's not the best movie, but I mean, it did introduce us to Jane Seymour, which is very important.
But I like the whole
Baron Samedi.
like the whole Baron Samedi, yeah, the whole voodoo thing. I love that kind of stuff, so that's why it's higher on the list.
I think it's a fun movie, especially like at the beginning. There's like the funeral, and they kill the guy, and then they put the casket on him, and it like picks him up, and then they keep walking.
Yeah. Oh, that was such a good scene.
It's Paul McCartney.
Yeah.
Okay, A View to a Kill. This is okay. So before you talk, this is not a very good one, but the mom from that 70s show, the neighbor mom, Donna's mom, is very hot. That aside, though, this is maybe the one as a kid that I saw the most, because for some reason,
this is the Silicon Valley one with Grace Jones and Christopher Walken.
It was always on TV.
Yes,
always.
City TV everywhere.
Grace Jones is like legendary for this movie.
Yeah,
I feel like we should give it some love just because of Mayday and I mean, not Duran
in this one.
Maybe like here.
Yeah, got to give it some. It's not at your own risk bad, but
no, and it's entertaining at least.
Yeah.
There's like some skiing shit.
It's very 80s with the whole Silicon Valley and like.
Yeah, we'll leave it there. We don't need to tell you anything else.
Yeah.
Living Daylights. So this is, for me, is in my category of, there's like 3 Bonds that I consider super underappreciated. It's this, Lazenby, and Thunderball, because when you look at the first 3 movies, everyone forgets that Thunderball even exists, and everyone knows Diamonds Are Forever because of the song. I mean, You Only Live Twice, kind of, but I'm not a huge fan of that movie. I really like the Toyota car that they have in it.
Yeah, the Toyota 2000.
Yeah, I mean, this guy knows his cars. That's why I brought him. James Bond's cars tier list
coming next.
The tier list is coming next.
I really like this film. It was like, it's in my top 5 Bond films of all time. I really enjoy this film.
Can we James Bond this?
I think so. Timothy Dalton does not get enough love as James Bond.
I mean, okay, we'll leave it there for now. License to Kill is not as good. Still, though, a pretty like underappreciated Bond movie. They went really gritty here. We were talking about it.
It's very dark. It took the departure again. It went really, really dark, this film.
But it's like
with
this
the
is what I
whole
don't
death
get.
at the wedding. Yeah, the murder at the wedding.
So,
he leaves MI6.
Yeah. Bond started out a little bit dark. He developed into more of like a suave character as Sean Connery progressed. The Lazenby one is like its own thing. Which Roger Moore became like the
campy. It was akin to the 60s Batman, which is fun. But
Live and Let Die wasn't fully, but it slowly became that down the line. Then Timothy Dalton ones were really gritty and dark, and nobody wanted it. But then they came back with Pierce Brosnan and did the same thing, and everybody loved it.
Yeah.
So I don't know, because like the first 2, Tomorrow Never Dies and GoldenEye, are very dark.
Yeah, they are. They very much are. GoldenEye is a very dark film. I don't know. I guess I don't know. This is a hard one because it's such a good film, but he's underappreciated, but it's not that, like you said, not that great of a film, and it doesn't get very much love.
What about like here?
There? Yeah, I could go
here.
With that. That's fine. That's absolutely fine.
Okay,
GoldenEye, it's a good film, but not a great film.
On paper, like it's not in my favorites, maybe my top 5 favorites list. You'll check it on the channel. But it's a good movie.
It is. Which one, GoldenEye?
Yeah.
Yeah. It brought Bond back to the forefront.
I'm gonna do a thing, and you tell me how you feel.
Yeah, you know what? That I'd put a little, maybe, kind of between there.
In between them?
Yeah, that would be me. It's a serviceable film. It gets a lot of love because of the fact of the game, the N64 game, but really the plot of the movie wasn't.
It doesn't. The plot isn't great, but as a spy thriller action movie, it works. I think
it's very 90s with the whole computer hacking and the satellite remotes and all that, like the Russian enemy. It's the double agent. It's a played out trope, but the fact that it brought James Bond back to the forefront, I can live with that there.
I mean, so we kind of
had Hagrid and Boromir in this film. How can you go?
So wait, it's true actually. Yeah, Valentine and whatever his name is, Trevelyan. Yeah. So Trevelyan. Okay, but so this era of Bond got really weird because you had, I mean, everything else aside, you had You Only Live, what's it called? For Your Eyes Only.
Yeah.
Which was good, but then you immediately followed it with like Octopussy and A View to a Kill, and I don't remember if Moonraker came out after, but
Moonraker was earlier. But you had like a good one and a bad one. Not a bad one, but a good one and a mediocre one.
And then you had Living Daylights, which is good, I think. License to Kill, which isn't as good, but they both kind of made money, but no one remembers them. Then you had
Yeah.
GoldenEye, which was like a resurgence, and then as soon as GoldenEye went away, you immediately went back into the dark ages of James Bond again. So you're
Because
talking
they
like a 20-year
progressively
span of between like For Your Eyes Only and Casino Royale is like not a good time for James Bond.
no, other than GoldenEye, yeah.
I mean, I kind of like Tomorrow Never Dies. I kind of like The World Is Not Enough.
The World Is Not Enough wasn't bad. It wasn't a bad. I kind of like that's kind of like my second favorite out of the 4 Brosnan films.
Yeah. Okay, well, I'm gonna take this
and
I'm gonna put it there.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Because I mean, Sean Connery is Sean Connery.
Yeah.
And I mean, no. So A World Is Not Enough. You tell me where you want this.
I'll still put it in the tier, but it's not as bad as people think. Maybe ahead of Diamonds Are Forever.
I mean, I'll allow it.
You had, what is it? Sophie Marceau and Denise Richards in that film.
Her name was Dr. Christmas.
Dr. Christmas. Remember? Oh, was the line he said at the end? I guess Christmas is coming twice this year.
Yeah. See, and little known fact, her last name is Christmas because her ex-husband was Lloyd Christmas from Dumb and Dumber. That's not true. So yeah, no, we're not going to talk about that.
No, we're not going to talk about
this category was originally going to be called Die Another Day.
Obviously the worst Bond film that there is.
Yeah. No one is good in it. The movie's stupid. There's a guy with diamonds in his face.
Yeah.
This is the only Bond movie that I would say, maybe Octopussy as well, but I would say just don't even watch it. I mean, Moonraker is kind of fun, but it's not.
If you like outer space stuff, yeah.
If you want to see Jaws date a girl, then like, good on you. Okay, Casino Royale. I think we got a 007 that.
Yeah, that's a 007.
Quantum of Solace. It's not as bad as everyone says.
No, it's a direct sequel, isn't it? Like it takes place right after.
Yeah, I believe all of them take place like almost right after, but this is like right after.
Yeah, it basically picks up where the last movie left off. I kind of liked it. I'd probably put it either towards the end of James Bond, or in the good tier, like somewhere in between there.
Okay, I'm gonna put it in a place, and you just tell me if you're upset by it. Okay, so realistically, I want to put it here, but I mean, like, to make an agreement, I'm like thinking like somewhere over here.
Let's put it in the middle of that tier then.
Like here?
Yeah, there's fine.
Because like for me, I think it's better than
Yeah.
I don't know. Is it really better than these ones?
It's the same. What's her name? The actress from Black Widow's in this one, right?
Yeah. Taskmaster. Spoilers.
Yeah, Taskmaster. Spoilers.
That's her name.
You know what? The spy from Johnny English Strikes Again.
Oh, we should add Johnny English to this. But we won't.
Not yet.
So Skyfall.
I think that one goes. Yep. You know where that goes. Yeah, that has to go there.
Yeah, it has to go there.
It has to. It has to. Such a good film. Spoilers. Judi Dench, her final Bond film.
Yeah. She's not dead yet. Dame Judi Dench.
Javier Bardem is the villain.
He's
fantastic in that film. He's
fantastic. Maybe the scariest Bond villain that's ever existed.
Yeah, with that bleach blonde hair in that movie.
The sequence when they go to that deserted island is so fantastic.
Yeah.
It's so well written. And it has so much emotion to it when he goes back to his family home.
And then it burns down.
Yeah, it's like, I mean, what the next movie coming here? I'm not a big fan of the whole brother thing.
Yeah.
So also noticeable in the next James Bond movie, it very much feels like the last 2 Mission Impossibles, where a guy they put in jail, he has to go get out of jail to help him catch somebody else. Yeah, you definitely didn't steal that idea.
Yeah, this is this reintroduces Blofeld.
I like Spectre.
Yeah, reintroduces Blofeld. Christoph Waltz plays a very good Blofeld in this film.
I think who is it? Leah Sadu.
Yeah,
I'm not good with names.
Dave Bautista.
Yeah, Dave Bautista. And he doesn't talk, does he?
Yeah. But he says more with his expressions than
Yeah,
he
this is maybe
does.
the best Dave Bautista role. Okay, I'm gonna
Yeah.
do a thing, and then you tell me how you
Yeah.
feel. I like this game. I'm gonna put it there.
I didn't even put it ahead of Goldeneye, to be honest. Like there.
Okay, I'll give you this.
Yeah, we'll meet in the middle, literally.
Okay, so now looking at this list, is there anything that you think that we have to change?
Nope, the three at the top deserve to be at the top. The three at the bottom deserve to be at the bottom, and everything else is interchangeable.
Yeah,
I think everything is where it should be.
I mean, I feel like this is a pretty decent list, especially since we have like a very, very different takes on it. Like your era of Bond is, you could tell like you were like maybe he's not your favorite Bond, but the Roger Moore stuff is like, especially those middle ones there are like that's your vibe, you know?
Well, I mean, that's what I grew up with, right? Like
Yeah.
I went back and watched the Sean Connery ones after, and we can agree, like we said, that Goldfinger is the best Bond film. But I grew up with like Live and Let Die because I grew up in the early 80s. So it's like those were the movies that were always on TV. So those what I think nostalgia plays more a part as to the quality of film. And that's why maybe I tend to hold to those films a little bit better or a little bit more.
I feel like you're pretty easy to deal with in terms of doing a list like this because you seem to be able to really like put your nostalgia glasses down and be like, well, I do like this movie, but I know it's not that good.
Well, it's like Moonraker. It's a fun film, but it's not a good movie at all.
Right? And it's like for me, I would say A View to a Kill is like a special movie for me because it's the one I watch the most. Right. But I know it's not good. Like if you asked me to recommend you that movie, I would do anything I could to not let you watch that movie, probably.
I just recommend watch all the Bond movies. Like just watch them. Like build up to it.
I mean, I feel like if you watch them all in a row, there's something redeeming of it out of it. It's like watching the Marvel movies. You might not like all of them, but at the end of the day, it's like it's a one cohesive thing that's it lasted.
It's a straightforward story. I don't know. There's something about the James Bond franchise that I feel will always have something endearing and something. And if you look at the eras, there's a Bond in every era. You have a Bond from the 60s, a Bond from the 70s, 80s, 90s, and into the 2000s, right?
Yeah, which I mean, they kind of overlap, but I totally agree with you.
Yeah, like the 80s kind of overlap, like with Roger Moore and Timothy Dalton.
And Brosnan kind of overlapped into the 2000s, and then now Daniel Craig. Daniel Craig has probably spanned the longest amount of time, maybe
06 to 21, right?
Yeah, which Connery was what 61, I think, is the first one.
61 or 63?
63, maybe, yeah. And then he left in 69 and came back in 71 or something like that. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm not good. Once again, I'm not the person
somewhere around there.
That. So, I mean,
actually, I can tell you right now, I have the list of the year by year on my windows here.
That's how we keep
Dr. No, 1962.
We were both wrong. All right.
Right. And then You Only Live Twice was 67. And Majesty's Secret Service was in 69. And Diamonds Are Forever was 71.
And then what was the first Roger Moore?
73, Live and Let Die.
And when was the last one? 87.
Octopussy killed Roger Moore's career. No, A View to a Kill was his last one, 85.
Okay, so he did 12 years. Yeah, so our longest running James Bond ever is Daniel Craig.
Yeah, and then The Living Daylights was 87. Basically, he had 2 years. 87 to 89 was.
You know what? I think when you look at the grand scheme of Bond, because this is like the episode now where we can really talk about stuff, I guess, because the other ones we didn't want to give too much away. But I mean, Daniel Craig's run is pretty phenomenal, and everyone attributes what he's done.
If you look at Daniel Craig's list, if you look, he has 2 in the top tier, and like one in Bond and one in good. Like he doesn't like all his movies have been good, at least
and
good.
yeah, and it's strange because when people think of him, they're like, oh, he's still the new Bond, but like he's been Bond forever, like legit, and
he's had a longer run with less films, I would think,
and
right? This is only his fifth film.
That's not to his detriment. It's better. It's better that he has less. I mean, Sean Connery is James Bond, in my opinion, front and back. And his first 5 movies were all good. All of them.
Yeah.
One of them is the best Bond movie, as we've agreed on.
Absolutely.
He only had, even his worst one here, which is Diamonds Are Forever, is still a completely watchable, enjoyable Bond movie. If I had Never Say Never Again, it would probably be at the front of At Your Own Risk. I think it's better than those other 3 movies.
But yeah, essentially, which is just a remake of Thunderball.
So his run is okay, but I mean, like, Daniel Craig is tight. That run is tight. And if this new one at least is better than Quantum of Solace at worst case scenario, then you might be saying, like, when the next Bond comes, that Daniel Craig might be the best Bond.
I mean, depending on what this film does in terms of like box office success, I would say Daniel Craig would probably be at the top of the list.
If this movie for us gets into that 007 spot behind those other 2 movies or with those other 2 movies, I mean, it's a whole different ballgame.
Yeah,
three movies in the top. Come on.
Yeah, that would say something. That would definitely say something.
We don't even have a Roger Moore in the top 2 spots.
No, we don't. Yeah, we don't. Good point. Good point. There's everybody except Roger Moore is represented in the top 2 tiers.
Yeah, his best 3. Well, Lazenby's in good, but his best 3 movies are in good.
Yeah,
like you have to think about, like, Man with the Golden Gun is maybe a little bit better than I think it might.
But I mean, it's fine. It's fine there. It's not. I just like it because, like I said, I'm a huge fan of Christopher Lee,
and I think that movie it plays well. Christopher Lee makes that movie.
Yeah,
he's the best, like, maniacal Bond villain since Goldfinger. He's
got those crazy eyes.
Yeah, he's the best guy that we've seen do it since Goldfinger, in terms of like just being an absolute
maniacal
of a villain,
megalomaniac.
Yeah, like he owns an island.
Yeah, right. Who owns an island?
He lives in a volcano, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Like, all he needs is sharks with freaking laser beams attached to their freaking heads.
That trope, right? That's, Austin Powers took that trope from that movie.
Let's look. You have the Woody Harrelson, the Woody Allen movie. I don't remember what it's called.
Wasn't that Casino Royale?
I think it's also Casino Royale, like influenced by Bond. You have the Johnny English series. You have Austin Powers. So what's the one called? Spy Hard.
Spy Hard with Leslie Nielsen.
And the other ones. What's the one where he's the cop?
Naked Gun.
Naked Gun. Like, these are all movies influenced by James Bond. They're all like direct spoofs of like tropes of James Bond movies.
Absolutely. It launched. I would say James Bond could be the first meme.
Yeah, I mean, it skyrocketed Sean Connery into a star.
Yeah, and he left the series because he didn't want to be pigeonholed in that character.
No, and I feel like that's how Timothy Dalton felt as well, where he didn't like the way that it was going, and then they really wanted Brosnan anyways. But in my opinion, the franchise destroyed the careers of Roger Moore and Pierce Brosnan.
Yeah. Like, what did Pierce Brosnan, like, this was
what did Roger Moore do after he retired and like just became an old guy?
And this was before, and he did James Bond after Mrs. Doubtfire, right?
I mean, that's his best role, Drive by Fruiting.
Run by Fruiting.
I'm
melting like a snow cone in Phoenix.
He got also held to those roles a lot as well, like the Matador and After Sunrise or Before Sunrise, whatever it was called.
Thomas Crown Affair.
Yeah. He got stuck just doing the same character all the time.
Was the one? Was it the Man from Panama or something like that? The Panama Tailor.
Panama Taylor of Panama.
The Taylor of okay, yeah, I was close.
And then
But
yeah, at the same time there as the Matador, those all came out like right back to back, right out right
I
around
think
James Bond.
what Brosnan suffered from was the fact that GoldenEye was such a runaway success that they tried to pump out as many as they could in the shortest amount of time. And he has just as many films as Daniel Craig in like 4 years, 5 years, whatever it's been.
Yeah,
like
from
I 99 to
you're
05.
correct. I think I don't remember for sure, so don't quote me on this, but I believe they filmed Tomorrow Never Dies and The World Is Not Enough almost like back to back.
Back to back. Yeah. No, it was Tomorrow Never Dies. Yeah, Tomorrow Never Dies and The World Is Not Enough. It was kind of filmed back to back.
Yeah. So would you have the years there? What are the years for him?
GoldenEye was 95. Tomorrow Never Dies was 97. The World Is Not Enough is 99. And the biggest gap is Die Another Day in 02. But I mean, think about it. 4 years or 4 movies basically in like 5 years, 6 years. Whereas Craig, they took the time, wrote the scripts, like made sure the movie was like to standards. We live in a different
era of filmmaking now, where having a franchise and caring for it, like Mission Impossible, like that's a perfect example.
That's been going on for over 20 years.
You know what I mean? And I'm not going to say Marvel because I don't, as much as Marvel like puts effort into what they're doing, I don't feel like they care about it like how much Tom Cruise and those guys care about making Mission Impossible, because those movies are really good.
But Mission Impossible keeps getting better each movie that comes out.
Yes, since the third one.
Yeah.
The first one, okay, from the first third up, the second one sucks.
Yeah, I didn't kind of like that one either.
But from first to
that was a very John Woo film.
Yeah, absolutely.
But yeah, after Mission Impossible 3, like, and it told a cohesive story, and it just continues right after the other. And I think that's what I like about Daniel Craig's Bond too. Is it's one cohesive story. It starts with Casino Royale, and it progresses. It's a long arc being told over the course of 4 or 5 films. You know what I mean? And the arc is going to come to an end.
And the comfort of all Bond movies, which Mission Impossible has understood now, is you need to have a cast of characters that constantly keep coming back that makes everyone feel comfortable. Like you're like, oh, this is Q. Oh, this is Simon Pegg's guy, whatever the hell his name is, right? In Mission Impossible. This is Ving Rhames. And Rebecca Ferguson, and you're like, oh, I feel okay with these people, Moneypenny and James Bond and stuff, right?
Yeah.
And you always want them to have a little bit of like risk factor that they're gonna die, but you never want them to die, because then it like until you know it's right. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because James Bond, this series had Dame Judi Dench, and you have Ralph Fiennes. Like, I mean, Ralph Fiennes is just a phenomenal actor.
The fact that in the latest Mission Impossible, they've reached back out to Michelle Monaghan and were like, come back and play the wife again.
Just for like 30 seconds.
And in our heads, the last 3 Mission Impossibles, which all take back to back to back from each other, we thought they kind of just ditched the old movies. They were like, that's old news, like, you know, screw that, like kind of how James Bond does.
Yeah.
And
but then they throw you that little nugget with Michelle Monaghan, right?
Yeah. And it's like, I like that. And it's like with James Bond, with Daniel Craig movies, they've not only gave you the comfort characters, they've built a cohesive storyline that's gone through, they really cared for the project, and they've given you so many nuggets of lore and Easter eggs that throw back to the other ones, even though this is like before but after.
These are prequel films. This is like at the start of his career, right?
Yeah. And I truly, to me, I buy into the Bond theory that they're all different and that it's a code name.
That's a code name given to the person
James Bond 007. So whoever is 007 is James Bond. You know what I mean?
That's their rank number and file name, basically. So this way, it makes sense.
And it makes sense.
It totally makes sense, because this way they can't get to whoever the family, like kind of like what they did in Mission Impossible with the names. Remember the names of all the infield agents? Same idea, right? If they're not using their real names.
Smart. Anyways, I don't have anything else. You have anything else?
No, just looking forward to the new one, and Idris Elba for the next Bond.
Yeah, just give me somebody. I kind of want Tom Hardy, but I mean, I'll take Idris Elba.
I think, I'll take Idris Elba, Tom Hardy. Yeah, I don't know. Other than that,
All right. Anyways,
like, and bring back Ralph Fiennes as M.
I'll take that. Guys, let us know who your favorite Bond is in the comments. And thanks for watching.
Let us know if you agree with our list.
Don't, because you're not going
except
to.
except Goldfinger. Don't touch that one.
All right, bye.